Hello and welcome back to the Unite Pieces channel. Today we will enthusiastically recap an action, sci-fi, and adventure movie from 2018 called Mortal Engines. Mortal Engines tells the story of the world after the apocalypse. The humans who survived never touched grass, mud or dirt. They built walking cities and preyed on each other in order to survive. So relax, prepare some snacks, and enjoy the story. After the devastating conflict known as the 60-Minute War, the remaining survivors of humanity regrouped and formed cities running on a system like a food chain. Large cities hunt and eat small settlements. For example, the city of London. London is a large city that has just come from England, and will eat the rest of the small cities in Europe. Then a veiled woman is seen, starting to panic when she sees the city of London coming. She then entered the small settlement and rushed away to save herself with the other small towns. Unfortunately, when the other towns had left, one of the towns, the mining town of Bavaria, which was boarded by the woman, suddenly got stuck and finally targeted. However, the tense action actually became an exciting spectacle for Londoners. The mayor, who knew that the city held coal, iron, and 75 tons of salt, then ordered Mr. Valentine, aka the city commander, to immediately catch it. Meanwhile, because the distance was getting closer and did not want to be caught, the city of Bavaria was forced to spill their salt cargo to speed up the pace, but unfortunately at the end of the road there was a hill that made it even more difficult for them to escape, plus the hook rope from the city of London managed to stick, and finally the mining city of Bavaria was caught. At another time, in the city of London itself there is a museum that stores various rare objects, such as broken TVs, broken cell phones, broken radios, and many more. Then seen a museum guide named Tom Natsworthy, who tried to show and explain the goods in the museum to Catherine, the daughter of Valentine. Some of the objects stored in the museum include recordings of weapons of mass destruction called Medusa, which have destroyed many cities in the world. In addition, Tom also kept a tool that could make Medusa's weapon, but because he loved peace, Tom intended to discard the object secretly from the museum. However, without him knowing, if there was someone named Herbert, who had peeked at them from behind the window. After that, Tom went looking for artifacts from the city of Bavaria before it was destroyed. He also took Catherine with him. While Tom was looking for artifacts from the city of Bavaria, he accidentally met Valentine, who happened to be looking for valuable items there. A moment later there was a commotion between the leader of the city of Bavaria and the officers, so Valentine immediately stopped it while telling the citizens of Bavaria, if his intention was not to harm them but wanted to provide a place to live and work, so they could build the city of London together. Without Valentine realizing, if the veiled woman had previously come there to take revenge, and she turned out to be Hester, the daughter of Hester Shaw, who was killed by Valentine many years ago. When Hester intends to stab Valentine in the heart, Tom suddenly comes to stop her, so the guards arrive to arrest Hester, and quickly Hester runs away to avoid them. Arriving at the dump site, Hester intends to jump in, but Tom immediately holds her. That's where Hester tells Tom about Valentine's past, who once killed her mother, so she told Tom to be careful because Valentine is actually a very bad person. At the same time, Valentine came, and he realized that Tom had known about his past crimes, so he did not hesitate to push Tom down. However, he did not know that from a distance Bevis saw it all. After that incident, Valentine sent several people to look for Hester and Tom, but those people could not find them, because Hester had the skill to hide. After escaping Valentine's pursuit, Hester took some of Tom's things, then left Tom, because Tom had thwarted her plan to kill Valentine. However, because Tom didn't know how to survive in the outline, Hester let the man follow him. On the other hand, it seems that Valentine seems to dislike the mayor of London, because he doesn't have the same thoughts as him, so Valentine secretly carries out his plan with Dr. Twix. They know their biggest threat is Hester, so Dr. Twix tells Valentine to kill the woman first by freeing Shrike, the robot hitman who is imprisoned in Shamora. Back to Tom and Hester, who were resting. That night, after enjoying a makeshift dinner, Hester was preparing to sleep, but suddenly she heard Tom shouting. Tom saw the city, and he thought it was a trading city. Therefore he tried to ask for help, but after being told by Hester the two machines were a human hunting organization, which they would later sell as experimental material. Not wanting to be caught, Hester and Tom tried to escape until they fell into a walking city called Scuttlebug. The people there were fortunately very kind. In addition to providing drinks, the woman also provided a room so that Tom and Hester could rest. There Hester finally told all the stories of her past. When she was 8 years old she lived a happy life with her mother who was also an archaeologist. Hester herself is also very close to Valentine, who used to be her mother's co-worker. But everything changed when her mother found a mysterious tool, which Valentine had been looking for a long time. When Valentine tried to take the tool, Pandora gave a necklace to Hester and told Hester to leave that night, while her mother was finally killed while trying to stop Valentine. Elsewhere, after a long journey, Valentine and his men finally arrived at the Shamora prison to meet Shrike. Heard from outside the prison if Shrike called Hester's name. When Shrike was asked what the reason was, Shrike said that Hester had broken her promise to him, making him want to kill Hester. Hearing that, Valentine did not think long and immediately shot the prison. The next morning, Tom rushed to wake up Hester because he realized that they were now being kidnapped and would be sold to the black market. They both tried to escape, but because Hester's leg was injured, they abandoned their intention and surrendered. Long story short, when the auction was taking place, a woman named Anna Fang came, who intended to buy Hester at a very high price. But even so, it seems that they don't want to sell Hester to Anna, because they know that Anna is a government fugitive. They intend to hand over Anna to the government because the reward will be much greater, but unexpectedly Anna is not an ordinary woman, so she immediately kills the man and finishes off the other people who try to stop her. Seeing the chaos, Tom and Hester tried to escape, but while avoiding the big wheels, suddenly Shrike managed to find them. Quickly, Tom and Hester escaped by boarding one of the vehicles there, while Anna was still fighting with the others. Seeing their hard efforts to escape, but Shrike was able to catch up with them easily, and when the two were cornered, Anna came with her plane to help them. Tom and Hester thought that Anna was an evil fugitive, but it turned out that she was a friend of Hester's late mother. She claimed to have been looking for Hester for years. Anna herself even thought that Hester was dead, because there was no way a little girl could survive in the outline alone. But then Anna and Tom were surprised when Hester said the reason she was still alive was because she had been helped and raised by a human who was resurrected and turned into a half-zombie robot aka Shrike. At first everything went so normal, and Hester could slowly follow Shrike's way of life. But one day, Shrike wanted Hester to become a half-robot zombie just like him, because he didn't want to see Hester feel sad. Hester herself almost agreed to it, but when she found out that Valentine was in the city of London, her intentions changed and she was forced to run away from Shrike to kill Valentine. Meanwhile in the city of London, Catherine, who is curious about all the secrets of her father, tries to meet Bevis to ask him to tell her about the incident at the dump at that time. At first Bevis refused for fear of being caught, but finally he revealed that Tom at that time did not fall, but was deliberately pushed by Valentine, after Tom learned about his past. Knowing this, Catherine intends to show the dangerous tools that Tom has been hiding in the museum, but unfortunately she is too late because Valentine's men have already taken them, and brought them to Dr. Twix's place. On the other hand, Hester and the others have now arrived in the city of Heaven's Air, where Anna and her comrades in arms gather, including Pandora when she was still alive. There they are greeted by Captain Cora, who leads them to a room to conduct an impromptu meeting, discussing the secret tool Pandora invented. However, because Hester himself didn't know what the device was, Tom helped by giving a symbol, which turned out to be a symbol derived from ancient technology that was none other than a computer core, which was able to control Medusa's quantum energy. According to Tom, there was only one thing called a destructive drive, which could stop Medusa, but unfortunately the object had long been lost. Not long after they discussed Medusa, suddenly the lights in the city of Heavenly Air went out, and that's when Shrike appeared looking for Hester. Not only that, it turned out that Shrike had also installed several bombs in the city, so they had to escape immediately. Anna and colleagues tried to drive Shrike away, while Tom and Hester were ordered to get out of there. When Tom and Hester were about to leave the city, Shrike suddenly appeared in front of them and immediately attacked Tom until he fainted. Here Shrike almost killed Tom, but Hester begged in tears not to do it. That's when Shrike realized that Hester had loved Tom. He stopped his action and returned Hester's necklace. He would even let Hester live with Tom, and hoped Hester could get her happiness out there. After Shrike died from the wounds he received, Anna then came to save Tom and Hester, and immediately left there right before the city was destroyed. In London, the mayor finally found out if Valentine had activated Medusa, he who did not want the war in the past to repeat itself, then told Valentine to stop the action. But what happened was that he was killed by Valentine, so Valentine was able to replace him as the new mayor. After killing the mayor, Valentine then tried to convince the public that they would attack the Sanguo shield wall and the mainland, then would start a new hunt on the mainland. Tom and friends are now also in the middle of heading to the Sanguo shield wall, a place where people live quietly without killing others. When they arrived there, Anna immediately met with Governor Quan, the person in charge of the entire fortress. When the governor plans to destroy the city of London, Tom asks the governor to find another way, because in London there are still many good people. But because the governor also has a responsibility to protect his city, Tom can only resign himself to hearing that. Scene. The city of London is not far from Sanguo. Anna immediately ordered the troops to attack by air first, but without her knowing, it turned out that Medusa's weapon had been activated, so the attacking plane was immediately destroyed along with the Sanguo shield wall. However, at the same time, Hester finally realized that the necklace left by her mother was not just an ordinary necklace, but stored a destructive drive that could stop Medusa's weapon. Quickly, Hester went to see Anna for help. After learning that the destructive drive was in their hands, without further ado Anna and other colleagues moved to help Hester. But unexpectedly, Valentine activated Medusa again. Fortunately they were able to avoid the attack this time, and continued the plan until the shootout was inevitable. Although Anna had to lose many colleagues, but she finally managed to bring Hester into the city of London, while Tom was going to control the plane. Inside, Anna tried to stop Valentine who was blindly shooting at her. Valentine didn't want his plan to fail so he immediately fought Anna, but without him knowing if Hester managed to get in, and immediately inserted a destructive drive into the Medusa weapon. When Medusa was about to destroy itself, Hester immediately left there except for Anna, who died from being stabbed by Valentine. However, even though the Medusa weapon was destroyed, the city of London was still moving, because Valentine had ordered his men to kill everyone in the control room and damage the brakes. Catherine, knowing this, tried to turn off the engine, but to no avail. Until suddenly Tom contacted him by radio. Here Tom told Catherine to open the main door, because he intended to damage the driving machine inside. Meanwhile, when Valentine intends to escape using his plane, on the plane it turns out that there is already Hester who is waiting to kill him, until the fight between the two occurs and cannot be avoided. When Hester fought with Valentine, Tom managed to damage the driving machine of the city of London, then he approached Hester who began to be cornered. When Valentine escaped using his plane, quickly and precisely Tom immediately launched a rocket at the plane, so that the plane crashed and was destroyed by fire. Valentine seems to be okay at first, but then he is crushed to death by his own city. After the war ends, Governor Quan accepts Catherine and all the citizens of London to live together in Sanguo, because he believes they are just innocent people controlled by Valentine. While Tom and Hester decide to continue their journey while building a happy family, and that's how the movie ends. What do you think of this movie? Please write your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and support our channel by subscribing, so that we stay motivated to create more interesting content for you to enjoy. And until next time.